Welcome to episode 3 of Games on the Road. Chrisless creative endeavors while we vacation to share some games. And today's game is Elevensies. It's a game about tea settings. And here we are on our way to the Grand Tetons. Me showing off the Elevensies box. This is not the only photo we took, but some good photos here. And the impetus for us to stop at the Grand Tetons is because 5 years ago today, we were married right here in the Grand Tetons. And each year we take a picture with our picture from previous year's anniversaries, and this is our 5th year celebrating together. But without further ado, let's talk about Elevensies. So this is Elevensies in a nutshell. So I have this set up for 2 players, and Elevensies is about serving a morning tea. Now, you have 8 cards that are face down in front of each player and 3 cards in each player's hand. And you have 2 options when taking a turn, and the one option is to play a morning tea card. Now this here kind of tells you where they go. And so each morning tea card has a number in the top left corner telling you where it gets placed on the table, because this is very fancy tea. So for example, if I was going to play a morning tea card with 1, it would go here, as denoted here. However, if I was going to play number 3, I would have to put it here and then pick up this card, and this becomes part of my hand. Now, the way this game scores is you have to have at least 4 face-up morning tea cards, and then you can play Elevensies to end the round. And then the player with the most number of spoons in their table setting wins sugar cubes. And the person with the highest number gets 2 sugar cubes, and then the second highest gets 1 sugar cube, unless you're playing a 2-player game, and then the second highest gets no sugar cubes. And the goal is to end a round with 5 or more sugar cubes to win the game. So let's talk about a game about morning tea. Elevensies is about setting up a fancy morning tea setting. So for cargo space, it's tiny. I would say 2 thumbs up for this one. It's not much bigger than a deck of cards, and you can take it with you, put it in your library. Now, table space, I'm only giving this 1 thumbs up because it does take a little bit of space. You've got basically up to 11 cards sitting out at the same time, plus your cheat sheet cards, and that's per player. So it would still fit on a card table if you played with all 4 players. So I'm just giving it 1 thumbs up. Time to learn, I'm just giving it 1 thumbs up. It would be 2 thumbs up, but I would say that each card has its own rules, and my suggestion here is to play through 1 round without scoring so that everybody gets an understanding of what those 11 cards do, and then play around where people can start scoring and try to earn their 5 sugar cubes to win the game. Setup time, 2 thumbs up. This sets up, I can show you right now. You have 11 cards per player. You put 8 of them in front of you. You have 3 cards in your hand to start the game. Put out your sugar cubes. You're done. So 2 thumbs up for setup time. You're out of the box and ready to go very quickly. Now this for me is another picnic table maybe. And here's why. It does come with some sugar cubes that you could use to set on your cards to keep them from blowing away. But there are a lot of cards, and if you're playing a 4-player game, you might run out of sugar cubes to use for scoring later. So, yeah, I would say that 2-player game, yeah, maybe because you can use the little sugar cubes just to keep your cards down if a little bit of wind blows. Otherwise, if you're playing a 4-player game, I don't know if this would be a good picnic table unless you're on a picnic table in the desert where there's no wind. So replayability, I think this is a wavy hand of indifference. Once you learn the 11 cards and what they do, once you learn the game, it's a fun game, but I would say that replaying it throughout the course of a vacation, you're probably only going to play this maybe once or twice. And finally, a 2-player game. I think this game would be much more fun with 3 or 4 players. In a two-player game, you're kind of rushing to get your 11s out first to get your 2 cubes, and there's not much randomness going on. You're not switching cards around with multiple people. We ended up trading the exact same card back and forth a few times, and getting the same card back in our hand that we just gave away. It could happen in a 3 or 4 player game, but again, with these guys, these people you're serving tea to, that kind of varies a little bit what people will be trying to play. So definitely you use the expansion even in a 2-player game. But yep, Wavy Hand of Indifference on the 2-player version. So overall, I think this one's a thumbs up. Mainly because it's small, it's pretty easy to learn, easy to set up. You can take it with you, and it'll be one of those games that you pull out of the box and go, "Oh yeah, I remember this. Let's play this," and then you'll play it a couple times and you'll put it away. But for the size and how fun it is to make fancy tea, yeah, I think it's a thumbs up.